Hi everyone, today it was round 6 at Norway chess. I'll show you a very interesting game between Abdusattorov and Caruana. Let's quickly jump into the game. So Abdusattorov was white. He started with e4, e5 by Fabi, knight f3, knight c6, and after bishop to b5 we have so-called Spanish opening. Caruana replied with knight to f6, which is very solid Berlin defense. Here the main moves are castle, now knight takes on e4, d4, knight d6, now bishop takes knight, dc6, de5, knight f5, takes, and this is so-called Berlin endgame, but it's supposed to be very drawish. So instead Abdusattorov goes for d3, which is anti-Berlin defense. Now bishop to c5 is the main move, not bishop here, because now bishop takes on c6, d6, and here, because bishop is here, white cannot take this pawn on e5 because queen d4 loses a knight or it's checkmate. So that's why bishop to c5 was very important. So Abdusattorov took d6, and the right move is just to castle. Here Fabi played bishop to d6, but also playable was knight to d7 or queen e7. There are many options in this position. Knight b to d2, bishop e6, and here very interesting move, knight to b3. b6 was played, and already here we are out of the book after knight to g5. So this position wasn't played before. Now of course here if we just castle, then this would be horrible, these double pawns here, structure for black. So in this position Fabi played bishop to g4. Now we attack this queen, f3, bishop has to go back to h5, and here computer suggests d4, knight d7, takes, this kind of play or line, but instead Abdusattorov goes for king to h1. Here Fabi played good move, just knight to d7. Instead, if he would castle, then there's knight to d2, knight d7, and knight can jump here. White has some pressure, so knight to d7 was very good move. Knight to h3, knight to h3 was played. Here again very good move by Fabi. Going for f6, there is also room for bishop to go back to f7, bishop to e3, queen e7, knight d2, knight c5, knight to c4. So knight lands on very beautiful square on c4. Knight e6 was played here, knight g1, and here very good move by Fabi, g5. He goes for attack, very dynamic and aggressive move. Knight to e2 was played. So as mentioned, because of f6 bishop can go to f7, queen e1, and again very good move, h5, pushing pawns towards the king. Knight d6 was played. Here we can take with the queen also, but Fabi took with the pawn, which is also very good move, a4, and white is trying to create something on the queen side, h4, a5, and here very good move, b5. Yes, we shouldn't take here, it would be very bad. It's good to have a lock position here on the queen side, h3, a6, d4, and here very nice move by Fabi, c5. So what would happen if takes? Now these pawns are quite strong here. So white play c3, king to f8, king is running to safe place without castling, rook d1, king g7, queen to f2. Yeah, now there are lots of maneuvering and slow moves, rook a to c8. So rook is going to this good file, rook to d2, queen c7. Yes, this pawn is under attack, rook a1, so white has to defend it. Rook h to d8 was played, and now very good move by Abdusattorov before. So Fabi took on d4, cd4, and went with queen to e7. Now here it's very important point that instead of a rook a to d1, white had very nice move, d5. And if knight goes here, knight to f8, rook d to d1, rook c4, bishop d2. So the plan is to go queen to b6. So rook to b8 has to be played. But now rook d to c1, knight g6, and we can take. And actually knight will come here and here, maybe here. So that would be a very good position for white. But instead rook a to d1 was played, and Fabi replied with rook h8. Here again, d5 can be played, and let's say if white here goes to f4, bishop takes, g takes, and now queen can again enter to b6. But instead, Abdusattorov played queen to e1. And notice now that after rook to c4, which was a good move by Fabi, white doesn't have this d5 break anymore, because just knight to f4 takes, and now there's no queen to b6, because yes, of course, queen is on e1. Okay, so rook to c4 was played. Now Abdusattorov took the pawn on e5. Of course, if we take with this pawn, then we would lose this one. So it's very important to recapture with d pawn. Rook to d6 was played, rook d8. And here I was wondering when I was watching this game live, cannot we take here on a6? But now just queen takes, and actually in this position black is better. So Abdusattorov rightly took the rook, knight takes on d8, g3. Still in this position, kind of equal. Abdusattorov is ambitious, and he wants to win. So that's very good mindset. Knight to g3 was played. Now it's very important to play bishop to e6, because then knight to f5 would win a queen. Queen to d2 was played, and very good move by Fabi, just knight to f7. And notice that though white has a d file, there's no entry square for white's queen on it. So yeah, black is defending really beautiful here. Also queen is quite safe, a little bit more than this one on h1. Bishop to c5 was played. Now queen went to e8, h4, queen h8 was played. Of course h5, because the threat was to take here. And here very nice move by Fabi, queen to h7. Notice that position is still equal, but both players were already in a little bit of time trouble. King to g2, and again very calm move, queen to h6. Here possible would be just to play g4, but now f4 can be played. Rook takes here, and yes, and if white takes, then this would be quite bad position, because these pawns are too strong. But instead taking here, I mean here the rook, white can play h6, and yes, and this position is again still quite equal, because now queen can enter on d6. But instead Fabi, even though in time pressure, he showed great nerves and great mentality, not getting nervous in huge pressure, and he slowly played queen to h6. Now king to f2 was played, and now finally he breaks with g4. And yeah, white can afford to exchange its queens, but actually Abdusattorov played bishop to e3, which is also a very good move. Now queen returns to h8, f g4, and now very nice move by Fabi, queen to c8, and now we threaten to play rook to c2 and win a queen. So bishop to c5 had to be played, because now it blocks the c line for queen and the rook. And now, very good move, we just take this pawn on g4. And here, actually, Abdusattorov played slight inaccuracy with a rook to f1. Maybe even decisive mistake. Here better would be just to play rook to c1, and after rook takes, queen takes, knight g5, bishop to e3, we just exchange the queens, king to h8, and this position should be a draw. But after rook to f1, Fabi played bishop to h3, rook g1. Of course, we have to watch out for our king being on g file with the rook behind it. So king to h7 was played. And here again, computer suggests to play a rook to c1. But Abdusattorov made another mistake with h6. Now, very good move by Fabi. Queen to g8, g4. And again, mistake by Abdusattorov, knight to f5. Here I was watching the game and I was wondering, cannot we just take here? And yes, of course we can, because after rook to g7, this check actually is not that dangerous. King to h8, and let's say if we would pick this knight here would be even checkmate very soon. Let's say here, this is actually checkmate. So king has to go here, but now again, that would be horrible position. Let's say king queen here, and now we can do check. If king goes here, then yeah, the easiest would be just to pick up the queen. So that cannot be taken. So knight to e3 was played. But now also very nice move just to take pawn on h6, and now rook is undefended. So knight takes the rook on c4. Now king takes, but again Abdusattorov finds very good move also in this position, which actually is quite lost already, bishop to f8, but at least there is some hope. After king takes, queen h6, but again in time pressure and huge tournament pressure, Fabi very calmly plays a very good move, just king to g8. Notice that if king would go to e7, then this is actually a draw. King cannot escape. So, and notice also here, white is out of checks. There are no checks here, here, or here. And also knight is far away. But now the final mistake was this knight to e3. And now there comes really, really beautiful move. I can give you a couple of seconds to find it yourself. Black to play. Yes, in this position, bishop to f5 is winning. And why is that, you may wonder? Because let's say if white takes this pawn, we have queen to f4, and if king goes here, we just pick a knight with a check. So, but you may wonder, can't we go on e2? But now, very beautiful move, bishop to d3, actually would win a queen and a game. So blocking this bishop blocking here and then going for discover check and winning queen was very important. Let's just see if bishop would go to c8. Now we can take this pawn and there's no check here anymore to win a queen. So yeah, beautiful move by Fabi. Here queen to h5 was played, bishop g6, queen h3, but now it's all over, f5, queen h6, and again very calm move by Fabi. King to f7 was played, queen h8, now queen d4, white is threatened to play f4, so king to e2 has to be played, but anyway f4, and after knight to g4, very nice move for the end, just f3, and after this move Abdusattorov resigned. So let's see what would happen if king takes, just queen f4, and you know, king has to go here and we would pick up a knight. So very nice game by Fabi. He's really in top shape, so impressive play by him. And there are 3 more runs to go, but he he has a big chance to win the tournament. Only Nakamura is behind him. I mean, he has some chances to win. So yeah, let's go Fabi. And guys, thank you for watching. As always, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye.